Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Hey, welcome back to the next episode review of Spy Family, episode 7, The Target's Second Son. And this is this is Anya. This is more Anya's episode. She's the star of this episode, with no doubt. Though I mean, Anya, like I said, she's like already the most adorable thing I've seen in anime. So adorable, but at the same time, a lot of stuff that she's especially after a lot happens after the last episode when she punched Damien. Was giving her a hard time though, but more in that where in this episode where they were because Lloyd is doing this for the sake is doing all this. Remember, he's doing all this for the sake of his mission, right? So he wants to do his best, to make Anya and Damien friends, right? So he's doing his best to what he's calling a plan B, wanting to apologize to him. And the whole thing through this episode where he's spying on Anya throughout the school and wearing disguises to, making all these little gestures, attempts to make sure that Anya apologizes, right? And like little tricks like when she's having a meal, right? And ketchup says sorry, or when she's walking by on the outside, all these trees have like shaved parts where it spells out letters and says sorry. Or what my favorite part is when he's on the roof, has this little reflective mirror, right, with a message on it, and Anya sees it on the floor, to make sure to apologize, right? And the whole thing I find funny that Anya thinks that it's from God, right? All this is from a sign from God, which I thought was kind of like which was very funny as well. And the thing is, with Anya, because more with how even though despite all this is a fake family though, this is basically what I feel is a very strong family and what feels like a very genuine family, right? Because you have three people or comes from different from completely different places, right? Like as I said, like Lloyd's a spy, Yor's an assassin, and Anya, she's from an orphanage that was from experimentation, right? But I feel like more, especially with Lloyd, though, despite he's doing all this for a mission, though, how he wants to be this real. Same time, he's being this real father to Anya. Like especially jumping to the end of the episode when the family kind of had a little bit of a falling out, though, because all the stuff that happened with Anya at school, where Lloyd is trying to make being this forced upon because it's for his mission, though, but. Especially on helping Anya solve this equation problem, but Anya's getting a little bit overwhelmed because she's reading into his mind, and then Anya's reading to Yor's mind to solve this problem, but it's getting too much for her because it's not really helping her. And at the point where I said with more Lloyd though, because when Anya goes into his room and she's not coming out though, she's making all this. He's making all this as a real father gestures like, oh hey. I taped your show for you. I made you cocoa for you. So why don't you watch your show and then we can continue studying, right? So he's becoming. The thing is, all this is for the mission though, but he does care about Anya. Being treating her like as his actual daughter, right? And that makes makes a wholesome moment until the end when he goes into her room and he sees that Anya is asleep with trying to study on her own, but she fell asleep though, right? And he picks her up and puts her into bed, And those are really good wholesome character moments, especially for Lloyd, because how he truly does care about Anya. He wants when Anya wants to be the father for her. A real nice wholesome character moment for Lloyd. And back with Anya, how the whole time during school, how she's trying to do her best to apologize to Damien, and especially when she after taking the bus to school and she befriends this rich girl we saw from previously named Becky, how she thinks everything's like because Anya is more of a commoner, right? But to Becky, despite though she's a commoner, she still thinks she's this very really good person, right? And even though the fact that how rich people are thinking that everyone below them is a piece of crap, right? Though, but Becky, she sees Anya as another type of person, despite being a commoner. And the whole time because Laurie's trying to have Anya apologize to Damien, but the like Becky is there with her all the time, so he makes his attempt to lead Becky out of the room so that Anya can apologize. And I like the fact the joke after the fact when Becky's in this room was like, "Hey, who called me here? I was eating my lunch. Who called me here?" That was funny too. And then, like I said, Anya's doing her best to apologize to Damien, and even when she finally says sorry, like Damien's like heart is like racing, right? It's like all tangled up in knots, right? Because he's already crushing on Anya. He's turning all bright red, and his heart is racing. He's really starting to develop a big crush on Anya. But the thing is, though, he's just too embarrassed to do that, and he doesn't want to admit that in front of the two friends that he has, that don't like Anya. So he spouts out, "Oh, you're just, I'll accept it," whatever he said, I don't accept your apology, and he goes and runs off because he's just too embarrassed to admit his feelings that he's already crushing on Anya. And then Lloyd's reaction is like, "Oh, he rejected the apology. Plan B is a failure. The mission's over," basically. And and Anya is so. Because also on top of the dealing with that though, because when she's sitting in class, like everybody's like, because they're in the front, she's in the front with Becky, and like all the kids are sitting up in the back from her because they don't want to be too close to her because since she punched Damien, it's like, oh, she's violent, she's scary, and especially whether speaking out loud or in their minds though, and Anya is reading everybody, it's becoming too much for her. And even though Becky's giving her some encouragement, saying, "Hey, they're just, don't mind them," basically. So, but Anya, she's doing her best she's trying to do best because she said she originally said she wanted to do her best in school, right? But things are not going right because everyone's just talking crap about her. But all that said and done, though, by the end, she tried studying. By the end of the episode, when she was in her room and she fell asleep trying to study on her own, she wanted basically want to do her best not to get those discipline merits, right, from for discipline for expulsion, right. And also, I want to see more going on in the school, though. Hopefully, we will get more of that, though. And then the best part is that after the credits of this episode, we see Yor's brother, Yuri, which how we get a little a backstory when because Yuri is Yor's younger brother, but things are despite him being the younger brother to Yor, he's always teaching his big sister all these other things, all these parts of knowledge, so which he was very happy to, and but after the credits though, we see Yuri at his job, and a friend of his is telling her how is she, and she says how she's with this man, right, that she met at the party, and then the reaction he has was, I thought, like, what? She's married? Much to his shock. I'm looking forward to seeing how Yuri, when she meets his sister with her husband. Because I don't think he has no idea what's going on, and to me, it also made me think from back then, from the first episode, thinking, or the second episode, I think, doesn't her brother know that his sister is an assassin? I don't know. To me, I don't think he knows that his sister is an assassin. I don't think so. Oh well, but I'm looking forward to seeing how because the brothers Yuri's gonna be very interesting. How when we finds out all about this, his sister is married and all that stuff. So I'm glad they put after the credits that we get to see introduction of Yor's brother. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Maybe hopefully in the next episode maybe. But yeah, but everything about this, since about Anya, causing like basically be a problem to everybody at school besides Becky, though, or the kid Damien, he's crushing on Anya, but he hadn't made his feelings to it already. and Loi, thinking the whole thing is the mission's gonna fail because of this, and the whole thing, well, by the end of the episode, how they haven't fallen out though because of what Anya's still need to study, but he's doing this for this mission, but he wants to be this father to a real father to Anya. He does care about her, and it was nice to see he was doing adding little bits of being a father. Like, hey, I taped your show. You want some cocoa? Let's watch a little bit, then you can study afterwards. And after when he sees her studying on her own, when she fell asleep, though, he puts her in bed, tucks her in, and that was a really nice character moment for Lloyd, So, even though he's doing this for this mission, he wants to be this real good father to Anya. Even though Yor says it's a pretend family, but she's the mother to Anya. She is. So, yeah, this is another really good episode. So, episodes 7, really good episode of Spy Family. And this show has been really, really awesome so far. It's a 10 out of 10 series, which I get why people are so excited for this series, and I understand why, because it is an awesome show. But anyway, this is a review for episode 10, episode 7, and I look forward to the next episode. And also, there is no the next video. There is no Shikimori episode because it got delayed a week. So this is gonna be just this one episode for now. So with Spy Family. But we'll hopefully get to the next episode for Shikimori the next week, though. But anyway, for Spy Family, episode 7, another good episode. This is Anya's episode. But thanks for watching, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you all later.